अरुणाचल शिवा अरुणाचल शिवा अरुणाचल शिवा अरुणाचल.
एकान्ते सुखमस्यतां परतरे चेतः समाधीयताम् पूर्णात्मा सुसमीक्ष्यतां जगदिदं तद्बाधितं दृश्यताम् प्राक्कर्म प्रविलाप्यतां चिदिबलां नाप्युत्तरैः श्लिष्यताम् प्रारब्धं त्विह भुज्यताम् अथ परब्रह्मात्मना स्थीयताम् प्रारब्धं त्विह भुज्यताम् अथ परब्रह्मात्मना स्थीयताम्. This is the last shloka from Sadhana Panchakam or Upadesha Panchakam, which Adi Shankara, just before leaving the body, told his Shishyas, says, please stay in ekantam, stay alone. Like that, be happy when you're alone. Chetas samadhiyatam, please be with your Atman. Don't go anywhere else, just be. Purnatma susamikshitam jagaditam tadbhaditam drisyatam. So you are staying as the being, and because of that, the world doesn't appear to you, because everything appears as that. Like when you see a mirage, you know that there is no water there. Like that, I see only the self everywhere. That is, I am there, that. And after that, what happens to the body? Don't worry about the body, because the body will be taken care of by your old karmas, prarabdha. As body is being taken care of, still stay put in Brahman or Atman and be happy with it. Ishvara.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Nilakantanji. I just want to add one thing, and which is the most important thing to be free. What you are thinking, you are never that. You are not part of matter. No one is part of matter. This is such a big, stupid idea someone has put in our mind. And this mind is also matter only. This mind, this body, this intellect, these thoughts, this story, this suffering, this agitation, none of this is us. None of this. Not even 1%. What we are doing is we are mixing energy with the matter. And we are worried about the matter, that we are matter. This is dream, this is illusion, this is ignorance. This is sheer stupidity of ours. And the reason is because there is a gadget which we are all using called as mind. And this mind produces thoughts. That's its job. It produces a thought that I am this body. And then you don't stay as Brahman. You log into this thought and then you suffer. Now, whose mistake is this? You will call it mind mistake, or do you call that pure eternal awareness mistake? Whose mistake is this? You can't call it body mistake. Body is not calling you that you are body. Body, you can't call it a body mistake. And mind is a gadget. It can speak out anything. It can do anything stupid. No, you cannot trust anyone's mind, including yours, because it's a gadget. I'll give you a very good example. Working in health industry, and even layman will understand, a person who has a psych issue gets voices heard, voices, devil voices, voices to kill themselves or to kill someone or whatever it could be. And they know, and they don't trust these voices, and they say that these thoughts which they can hear is not them. But still, sometimes these thoughts can mislead, which now they are thinking they are voices. Same thing we are doing. They are seeing a psychiatrist, but whom are we seeing? Because we all are suffering, so we think it's normal. This is what happens in society. Even an evil which is wrongdoing, if it's prevalent in society, everyone is doing, then they think it's normal. This is okay. It is not. So the problem is that when this I thought has come out, popped up in the mind, the awareness, that absolute awareness, rather than staying there, you have slipped, thinking that this is your body and this you have to protect. As Neela Kantanji just said, the body will go through its karmas and prarabdha and the karmas through which it has come, and it will finish off the way it has to. Whether you interfere, whether you try to protect it, whether you want to do it, it does not follow any rule. And I'll tell you why. Again, we talk about exercise and all these things. They are all good. But still, a person who is alcoholic, chronic smoker, lives till 90 plus, hale and hearty, and dies of sudden. And a person in 20s having arthritis and this problem and vegan diet and all, and still, looks like 80 years at the age of 50. How would you... Then you will say, oh no, this is not for majority. But the thing is that everything is pre-decided in a way. I see so many people who don't do any exercise, they live up to 100. And then there are these fitness freaks who are always in gym every day, 2 hours, looking after the body. I'm not asking you not to look after, but don't be mad after body. And here we are dealing in a very drastic situation, putting our energy, our all intention to this body, protecting the body from others, pampering this body, pampering its sense organs like tongue, sexual desires, eyes engaging in beautiful movies and shows, perception. Everything is just body. And the mind is saying, do this. And we go like a person without mind, without that wisdom, and we run to indulge, to protect the body. And we are not the body, we are not the mind, we are not the intellect, we are not the sense organs, we are not the sensations, we are nothing of this, none of these things, never. But because this I thought that I am this body makes us do all this stupidity. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because we all suffer from this disorder known as FOMO, fear of missing out. We think because this body, mind, and it can give us a lot of things, we just run. We don't stay alone because we think staying alone is foolishness or missing out all the action happening in the world. There's so much of entertainment, so many things, so many opportunities. We have to go outwardly. But going outwardly is very, very risky. Illusion continues. And it has continued for millions of years. Can you believe this? Because we have never given it a thought, and not even anyone has told us, and we have not sit with our own self. If you can sit with yourself for 1 second, this game is finished. This illusion will drop forever.
You can easily do that. For example, if I'm thinking about Sanjay, for example, his figure will come to my mind. But the other way around, I want to go to office tomorrow. My form will never come to my mind. That means I'm formless. That means everybody is like that for everybody. If I'm doing something, each person. So in that case, I'm totally formless. Why not we proceed in that way? Then I'm full always. There's no lacuna in me. And whether I can stay put in that, that is ekante. That is quietude. That is being alone. So this has to be pursued because that will give me total satisfaction. Then I'm Purna. I'm fullness itself. Whether we can try this and find out a little bit of introspection only. Go ahead, please.
And here, which looks so difficult, is the easiest. I'll tell you a very simple trick. You stay as whatever you are, whether you have ego, mind, intellect, job, work, family, whatever, just stay. Stay as a witness. Now, the witness is something you need to understand, because I keep talking about witness, but it is, if you understand, if it goes to your heart, you will know what this witness is. Witness is an awareness which is not involved, because they are so close. This mind, we are always in the mind, but I'm not talking about mind. I'm not also talking about the one who thinks he owns the mind and the body. I am talking about even before this all, there is this thing which is witnessing everything as things are happening. And this is, we all are. You have to move back to the source. Not you have to move your body. You have to, in your seeing, you have to be just a pure seer who is just watching, but not with any commentary. The one who is watching with commentary is ego, is the illusion. But there is more purer form, utmost pure form. This is what we are, which is seeing what is. It is also watching ego. It is also watching your sadhana. It is also watching your practice. It is also watching your frustration of not knowing yourself. It is because it is always complete. Because all these sadhana, practice, frustration, this is all at the mind level only. Things are happening at the ego level only. It is, we are doing this to get freed from that notion. We are doing this notional correction within the mind. But that pure awareness is always free. It is you only. But you have slipped into this form in ego mode. But step back and don't say any word. This is the real sadhana. The moment you grasp this, no sadhana is needed, nothing is needed. And then you will never slip back, because slipping back is inviting misery again, suffering again. Then you become an individual. As soon as you are, when you are in ego mode, you are in protective mode. You are in, I should call in medical terms, like in sympathetic mode. Like you and others are different. So you take this sympathetic mode. And in medicine, we know that sympathetic drive causes stress. It causes anxiety. It causes stress hormones. The moment you move into the parasympathetic mode, go into this, which is governed by the vagal nerve, you are rest and relax. Probably, I think this parasympathetic comes from that awareness. It connects you to that awareness. If you see all yoga, all recent research happening, that's all to do with the vagal nerve. The vagal nerve, which starts from the gut and connects up to the brain. The parasympathetic. And that is the rest and relax. How to be in rest and relax when you're not in a person mode? When you don't slip back, when you don't fall from the grace, I should say. And whose grace? Your own grace. Stay in that grace. Don't talk rubbish. When we start talking rubbish, when we go down that path, it is risky, especially for a newcomer in this zone of pure awareness. He should take care of thoughts and the words he chooses and how he's acting, and But once you are solidly there, then you know that you are just doing a drama, and then maybe you can do that. But for a new person, because you have already slipped for millions of years, you can't do this drama of, look, I have now slipped and then I'll come back. No, no, no. Stay there. Maybe this is a task for someone like Krishna or Rama, but not for you and me. Let's just focus as pure awareness, stay as pure awareness, pay attention there till the body leaves you. Don't again test Maya or illusion or any Shakti, because who is going to test is ego. That means ego has come back. You are again drowned in this illusion. So that is where you see every sage has utmost respect for that absolute. Though he is that absolute, utmost respect for the teacher or guru, though he is that same teacher, because he don't want to slip back. I'm telling you the secret. This secret, you know, when you have this gyan, when you have this knowledge, that you now know how difficult it was to come out of this dream. So who is the fool who would take risk again? Let's say you have fell in the well. So people, with all your practice, you came out. Now you have come out. Now you say, oh, I'll again jump into the well. Let's try. I now know how the way to be out. But who? I'm telling you, because a lot of these people are foolish. And I don't want to name, but you can see the people who are at the up and then they go down. So you should not see the person where they start. See the person where they end. A lot of these jnanis becomes bhogis. Why? Because this new jnana came and they thought, now I am free, and they jump into all indulgences and stupidity, and they fall flat on their face, and then they become a piece of mockery in front of the whole world. Why this happens? Because they have this pride comes. You know, when the pride comes, then everything goes wrong. I'll tell you with this thing, very small thing which I heard. It could be completely wrong, but just as an example, it's coming up now. With all my humble respect to all the Lord and monkey god Hanumanji, there was this thing happened during war with Ravana, Ram and Ravan war, that Lakshman, younger brother of Ram, was unconscious. So they said that there is a herb which he can get. And before they could finish, they were explaining, the doctor was explaining that what this herb is, Sanjeevani, and where to get it from, and he said, yeah, I'll do it. It's Hanuman who can do anything. And he left. And you know that Lord, that absolute, tested him. He could not find it. He kept searching. He could not find it. He could not remember it. Because this is what happens when that ego comes in any form, whether it's in good work also. It brahmits, it spoils your mind. So he has to take the whole mountain because he could not remember the name, what was it and how it. So even if Hanumanji, I'm a devotee of him, but what I'm, with due respect, I'm just telling you that if at that level things can go, that's wrong, then who are you and me? So never take proud of your even realization or self-abidance, and never test that illusion, because illusion also comes from the absolute. The moment you are testing, that means you have that ego. A proud has come that, look, I am free, and who am I, and how the Maya can. No, don't challenge anyone. Just stay quiet, and you are never move from there. This is more so for a jnani, for a person who had realization, than for the seeker. Seeker has nothing to lose. He is already in the ditch. But it is mainly when the moment you realize, then you have to keep quiet and stay there and never move. Whatever happens comes, because this dream which is going on is all part of the matter only. You are not matter. And what we think we are is, we can never be that. We can never be body. We can never be mind. Mind is again part of, though it is very subtle, but it is also part of matter. We are that substrata, we are that awareness on which all this play is going on. But because we are sleeping in this deep ignorance of this illusion, we never question that, and we never, even if we question, we don't inquire. If we inquire half-heartedly with doubts. And even when that we inquire, we don't finish this inquiry to completion. And then people complain of why there are so less realized people in the world. Because only 1%, 0.1% people are interested, and then they also have doubts and they don't complete their journey. I remember in early days, I used to know so many people who were very deep spiritual seeker. And now when I have spoken to them after 20 years or 25 years, they have a family and all, and they say, yeah, that was a time when I don't know how come I got into this spirituality. Now I've got a bit good business or a job and a family. Completely lost. So from where you start, you have to end, and you have to finish the task. And after finishing, then stay there. So it is not difficult at all, but it all depends on your intention, your longing and perseverance and staying there. But it is so easy because it is you only. All the gadget, all the way to reach it is also within you. Even if you don't read any scriptures, nobody tells you, the guru, the real guru is within us, and it will take you there. But you have to be honest about your practice and see and longing. If you are sincere, it has to happen. There is no doubt that it will not happen. 100% it will happen. If it's not happening, fault is in you, your intentions, not in that grace, not in that absolute. Because absolute grace is always the same. It is eternal awareness, closest of closest. It is you only. But you are slipping back because this illusion around you is so attractive. And you take help of this devil in you, mind, to get to all these things. And then you sit for half an hour trying to detach, but then you spend rest 23.5 hours to be in that. How is it possible? Now, as Nilakantanji was saying, that the last sermon of Adi Guru Shankaracharya ji was that stay as Atman, stay alone, stay in your solitude, don't slip back. That's what he's saying at the last word. Just take last word of anyone is truth. Even of the worst person will say truth at the end. That's why a lot of people want to know when a Guruji or a teacher dies what he said at the end. So this is very, very important, that these last words are so important. And this is the thing. Don't slip back. Never slip back. Remember, and you don't have to remember when you are in it. It is you only. Who has to remember what? And I'll tell you, this is the easiest thing to do. Your intention should be pure. And your intention should be only to be in this. Whatever coming in mind, in so many things and all this, that's why Bhagwan's teaching is the purest of teaching. He just nullifies all action is useless. So whatever you have created in this world and got Nobel Prize or whatever, in whatever field, from the point of Atman, it is useless. From the point of Atman, it is useless. The only thing which can free you is just stay quiet in your silence. The only thing by which you can know who you are is try to find this silence within. Nothing else, only silence. When you look for silence within, you will find it, because everything starts from there only. And try to find the one which is not involved. So let's say you stay in your silence, uninvolved state, and a thought comes that this person is cheating me. You just watch thought comes, goes. Thought will only disturb you if you pay attention and you think this thought is for you. All these thoughts which comes to us are for this fake entity called as ego, the I thought. I thought has created other thoughts. But let's say you stay as awareness. No thought is for you. Uninvolved. If you are uninvolved, why thought will become to uninvolved state? Uninvolved. Pure presence. When you are pure presence, you are uninvolved, then why a thought will come to you? Then what is the thought doing to you? So thought going to show this person down, or thought to do flattery on this person, or to fulfill your goals by doing this. Like, do you think it will come to the absolute, to awareness? All these types of, nikrasht vichar, these very low level of thoughts will come to this pure awareness. All this stupidity, gossip, that this thing has gone wrong to this person. I'm so happy because he used to do bad with me. So still you are doing all this. Who is into the business of dealing with people and your emotions and your story? Who is doing it? Is it awareness? Has awareness taken the costume of a person and fighting with people? So Bhagwan, God has gone so low that he started doing boxing with people, on small petty things. We are bringing him so down. We are bringing him down and we are bringing us ourselves down. So this is the sin. That absolute, we have impure that absolute by just this illusion. Absolute is never involved in any drama. Though there is a body mind, it will go through what it has to do. It is none of our business. Our business is to stay as awareness. Nothing needed. Even it's not a practice. If you understand, job is done. Go home, leave this asthang and just relax. Most relaxed state is the state of being in awareness, where you don't have to, there's no give and take happening in awareness. And I'll tell you one more thing. In awareness, you can never be at fault. Because if you're not involved, how can you be at fault? To be at fault, you have to do something, good or bad. Even doing good you can be at fault. You are asking a person, you are pulling a person to cross the road, but he's not blind. He is waiting for someone. He does not want to cross the road. You think this blind man needs to cross the road. So you are at fault. You are trying. Your intention is good, but you are at fault. So you can, even in good things, you can be at fault. But when you're not involved, then how can you be at fault? Stay uninvolved. And the best uninvolved state is when you don't get engaged in your thoughts. You don't have to sit in Gyan Mudra and eyes closed for 5 minutes every day to be free from mind. That is again, I don't know who has created this drama. Because this drama actually does two harm to you. First is you think you are doing meditation and you will be free one day. You will never be free one day, because doing 5 minutes or 10 minutes of meditation can never make you free. Okay? It can only calm your mind, less thoughts, less intrusive thoughts. Life is happy and you can enjoy your ice cream and you can earn more money. That's all. Nothing more than 5 minutes of meditation is not doing any good. Second is it gives you proud. And it takes away all your energy, your desire to be free. Because you think that Guruji has said that half an hour of meditation every day is enough for you. But it is not like that. Nothing is like that. People do Nam Japa. They do Nam Japa for 1 hour or 2 hours. Useless. Useless because it has to continue from morning till whatever practice you pick up. It should start from the morning you wake up till you go to bed. And things what is happening in the life will continue happening. Your work, job, all the actions of the life, they will continue. You don't have to worry about them. Because you don't own this body and mind. You are not the owner. Why you are worried? When you're not the owner of the body mind, the one who is owner will take care of it. You stay as awareness.
There is a famous shloka, Ananyas chintayanto mam yajanah paripasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam bahamyam. This comes in Gita as well as in Vishnu Sahasranama. So nityabhiyuktanam means always, not daily. Nityabhi means always. So like that, always stay put there. Not for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours. No, always. And it is ananyata, no two. Just be. Then only there is no two. Just be. So can we practice that? And it is continuous. So it becomes your nature. After some time, it's not practice. It's so natural that anywhere you go, you are just floating, or you are that. There's no question of difference between somebody and you and other things you don't care about. I've come to Trivandrum maybe after a long time. Whenever I come, I will stay there for 3 weeks or 2 weeks and go back. Now I'm staying for 6 months, and it is COVID, and I have not met even one of my friends, not even one. And I'm staying at home. And even when I walk out, suppose if I have to get something, walk out, I come within 10 minutes, and in the road, I don't know anybody. So I'm able to keep the whole period as just being quiet. But for talking to my parents or my sister, just being quiet, it's amazing. Because no talk, no nothing. And none of the persons is disturbing me because they are in their house. They don't even call me because most of them don't know I'm here. So they don't. And so it's so kind of force this one, even though I'm enjoying that period because it's so quiet, unbelievably quiet. Unbelievably quiet. So this should be, say, sometimes I feel that many persons should try this. Try to extend that quietude for 5 or 10 minutes to half an hour, then to 1 hour, like that, until the time they go to sleep. Then the next day you wake up, then it goes on like that.
It's very true. I'll tell you, the moment you want freedom, everything helps you to get that freedom. My phone never rings. I put on silent, but sometimes things happens. If your wife calls and you don't pick up, then you have to get that bashing, but that's okay, that's a small price to pay. But it is good. I'll tell you, this is the beauty. Once you choose God, once you choose awareness, once you choose absolute does everything for you. I'll tell you another secret. Once you choose absolute does everything for you. I don't want to say this too loud, but this is what happens. The small petty things which I see people running to do, I will do, otherwise this will happen, I will do. Somehow everything happens for you. You choose to stay quiet, and that absolute takes over all your work. This is the secret you should understand. The small petty things for which you go like a beggar to do these things. You don't need to do this thing. That absolute takes care. When you go, this is Sharanagati, this is surrender. When you surrender, that absolute takes care of everything. You don't have to worry about anything. This is another secret I'm telling you. But don't do practice for that reason. This is the other thing. Don't do this because God will become your servant. No. But it happens. It always happens. He does everything for you. But who can understand this, Who can understand this? Ego can never understand this. A mind which thinks he is doing can never understand this. You surrender, and that surrender, after surrender, everything is done for you. And the best possible way, even you can't dream about that. You can't be that perfect. Your choices are always wrong. I know people who got married 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, and every time the partner was wrong. You know how many times people go wrong. Here, you just leave your choice and leave to the absolute. He will take care so well that your buddhi, your mind cannot take care of this body mind that well. Trust me. Just give up. Give up what you think you can do and you can achieve. And can you do it for 24 hours? Just for 24 hours, just give up everything. and stay just as a witness and see the power of witness when you stay there. Actually, the moment you give up doership, that awareness takes away the whole system. Only because you don't give up, you hold on tight as a doer, there is no space for that pure absolute to manifest. Understand this very simple truth. So, surrendering is actually giving up this doership. That is the pure surrendering, not for just for, but what I'm trying to tell you is try to do this. You will never want to be doer again. Doership is all stress, tension. Whether results are good or bad doesn't matter. It's not about the results. It's about the ownership that I am doing. I will prove to the world that I have done this. And then whatever results are, they are all bondage. As Bhagwan has said very clearly, actions can never make you free. You are looking for results. It's a trap. Why can't you just stay as a witness? Whatever your life, you have lived the life as an ego, in ego mode. Let's live rest of the life as presence mode and see the difference yourself. Be just like a presence. See the power of presence. When you are living as presence, then you are not there anymore. It is that absolute living in this body-mind complex. What you thought you are has dissolved. So no one in the house. All the noise is created by this stupid person who claims ownership of the body-mind. Where were you when you were in the uterus? Where was your ownership there? Where was your ownership when you were just born? And then a couple took care of this body-mind complex. Where were you? Where were your worries that time? Were you guiding them how to feed you? How to shower you, clothes, how to keep you, handle with care? Who was telling them? And then what happened when, who taught you to walk and all those things and took care of you? And the moment you got this mind, the moment that ego appeared, this Ahm Bhav came. Before that, you were also calling yourself as this thing is of John. You were not calling this thing is of mine. This is mine thing. You were calling yourself as name. You didn't know what that person is. Who is this person? Because everyone has given you a name. You were confused. And then the moment the ego came into this body, manifested by conditioning, suffering started. Go back to that state when you had no ownership of this body mind, when someone else was taking care of it. You know, your parents or whoever was taking care of your body at that time is all from absolute only. That absolute sends and arranges and does everything for us. But the moment we have got some wealth and some knowledge and some pride and we think we are doing it, it is not that. If you have so much of confidence in you, can you sustain this body-mind complex as long as you want? Now just understand this. So your birth was not in your hand, isn't it? And death is not in your hand. So how come a stupid mind makes you believe that in between everything is in your hand? When birth is not in your hand, death is not in your hand. I'm talking about the body. I'm not talking about you as pure awareness. I'm talking about what you think about yourself. You think you are body, mind. That's why you're suffering. That's why you're not free. When birth and death is not in your hand, start and end is not in your hand, how the middle part is in your hand? Sometimes things happens the way you desired and you think it is in your hand. Sometimes things happens opposite to it and then you feel unhappy. But in both circumstances, things are happening on their own. Why don't you just stay? Stay as what you are, rather than jumping into this role, into this costume. And it is not difficult, it is the most easiest because it is our natural form. Though I can say that we have been conditioned for many years, but you can break this conditioning by just understanding this truth. Nothing else needs to be done. It is very easy, very simple. Just stay as silent witness to things unfolding in front of us. Don't take any form. You don't have to tell anyone about this. It is your inner seeing. Stay in your inner seeing. But as Nilakantanji was saying, always continuous till it becomes your natural state. You will not even know when the practice ends and when it becomes natural. You will never know. Because it is your natural state, it is your state, always you are that. As Bhagavan says, this sadhana, this practice should continue like a flow of oil, ongoing, continuous, or flow of a river. Just continue this sadhana. All the time, all the time, all the time. If you forget about it, come back, come back, come back. You slip back into ego mode, come back. Just be awareness. If commentary is coming to the mind, don't involve, don't engage, come back. People are insulting you, just watch. Because whom are they insulting? Body mind. You are not body mind. So why do you bother? And who is bothering? Thoughts. Let thoughts deal with it. You just stay as awareness. Take away all this energy from the mind to the self. Pay attention to pure awareness. Stay as witness. I'll guarantee you within no time you will be free completely. And you will laugh on yourself. What stupidity I was doing in all this gossip. If you see all the movies, theater, news, war between countries, groups, people, politics, everything is coming from that ugly ego mode. That's why every jnani loves his own company than anything else in this world. Why? Is it because he hates people? No. He knows that this is sheer stupidity. There is no joy in it, no fun in it, no happiness in it. All happiness is staying as awareness. And when you taste your own inner joy, all the joys of the world becomes insipid. They have no taste. Actually, they are all bitter. The joys what we think are actually bitter. They are poison, sweet poisons. Wealth, name, fame, they are all poisons. There is no fun in it. People who are thinking fun, they have no clue because they have never tested their own inner joy. You know, when you want to achieve something, when you long for anything, any object, and you get it, and then you feel happy for that moment. Why? Because at that moment, the mind gets satisfied and you are touching your awareness. because mind which was projecting outward has calmed down because it received what it wanted and it is just settling in that pure awareness. See, if you stay, if you are permanently there, how much joy there is, how much bliss there is. And you don't move from there. Which fool will want to move from there? Once you get that knowledge of what you are, why would you jump back into this ego mode? But there is a word of caution there, that don't try to test this illusion again. Once you are free, just stay free. Don't go again into the prison to check, can I run back again? There's no need. But then alertness has to be there till the end. That's what it is all about. And then it is so clear that this mind-body complex is arm's length from you all the time. It's not that it is always enveloping and you are trying to be attention and I am awareness and I am not thought, and you keep practicing. You will get mad if you keep practicing like this all next 50 years. It's not that long. Once you have this intense desire and longing and you work on it, things become so clear that you cannot slip back into the mind. Because it is stale, it smells, it is ugly. Who wants to be in ego mode? But you stay, you practice, you pay attention to awareness. You might have to practice maybe for a week or few weeks or a couple of months or maybe a year. But again, not that long. If you're doing continuously 24 hours, 7 days a week, it is like you have to have that madness, Have you seen these Olympic, athletes and all? How much they run, how much they do, how much they get up at 3 a.m. and they do and run and eat this and not do and don't go to parties, and then they wait for that thing after 4 years, to get that medal. And then they get Olympic medal, isn't it? Or sometimes they don't get it. Here it is sure shot. You will get that medal. You will get that jewel. And here there is no competition. It's not there is only one gold medal. Everyone can get gold medal, whoever runs that race within. You have to run within. Stay within. And don't move. Whatever comes, whatever happens, don't worry. Because whatever comes, whatever happens is to the body mind. You are not body mind. Then why do you worry? Not even for a fraction of a second, none of us is body-mind complex. What is satsang? Satsang is company of people who only talk about awareness and who only abide in awareness and who don't want anyone to slip back into ego mode. That is the satsang. This is the power of satsang. Because satsang is a place where your mind will be crushed. If you want to save your mind, never attend any satsang. Your mind cannot stay in satsang. You will be finished what you think you are. And then what is left is left. This is the power of satsang. In satsang, no one is promoting anything or criticizing anything. If it is promoting that God within and criticizing the ego within. That's all. It's your own journey only. We have nothing to do with anyone outside the world, what they are doing or not doing. Who cares? Who cares the dream people outside? Whether they are your family members or whether they are friends or whether they are next door neighbors. We have nothing to do with anyone. Yes, we can love everyone, but nothing to do, nothing to comment. We are just sorting out this internal struggle, moving back to what we were always, staying in the source. And staying in the source to that extent that the mind dissolves. And to dissolve your mind, stop giving work to the mind. One moment you stay as awareness, then the other moment you want mind to do this trick to deceive someone or to take something from somewhere, whatever it is, whatever drama you want to do in this world. How can you be free? Your attention, your work to the mind is making it bigger and bigger, And here you are doing a drama, then it becomes fake. Then you're not deceiving the world, you're deceiving yourself. People talk about fake gurus and fake babas, and actually they are trapped badly. I think this is a very sorrowful state for them only, not for people who follow them. People will be free. If you have true intention, you will be free, even if you follow the fake guru. But it is a problem for the guru only. Kabir said a beautiful thing. Guru ki karni guru bharega, chela ki karni chela. Whoever is doing whatever karma, he has to follow it. No one goes out of the law of karma if you are in the ego mode. You have to. And anyway, even if you are out of the ego mode, you are Brahman. The body has to go through it. Because this body has come from your previous karmas, from previous lives as prarabdha. So it has to go through it. Whether it will get a disease or not a disease or rich or poor, it has to go through. So you don't have to worry about it. Because you are awareness. Let we say in Hindi, doodh ka doodh, pani ka pani. Whatever has to happen, has to happen. You don't interfere. That's why no jnani will do any drama to stop the suffering of the body. No jnani. He might do it for someone else, but not for him. No jnani. Because he's completely detached. This is the real test of jnani, and that's why every jnani gets a cancer. Because I think that is like a test to show you that he's completely detached. It is not a test for him, it is a test for fools like us. Because he becomes an example in front of us that, look, it is not affecting him even at this stage. He's so detached. It is only the fake guru who is showing drama in front of people that I am treating you, will get affected because his drama is now getting, exposed. But Jnani knows he's not the body. You understand these deep things, which is so important to understand, that once you stay as awareness, the awareness is at arm's length always from the matter. It is like so clear. It is never mixed together. But how? By just not engaging in any type of thought. Even before the thought is a feeling, an intention to use mind for the purpose of the body. Stop doing that. Stop engaging in that. It is bad habit, old habit. It will die soon if you don't do that. Don't try to use people around you. Don't try to please people around you. You understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you should not love people, but the way the ego works, we all know it's working. So that it actually shows that we are beyond it. Stay that, but don't engage mind in anything stupid. If you don't give work to the mind, it will become like a vestigial organ. It will finish. And what is left is what you are. Keep reminding yourself that you are pure awareness if you forget. And try to tap into this silence in you before any thought arises. This silence has no name, no form. It is not your name. You are not your name. The name given to you is given to this body-mind complex. And your CV, your resume is of this body-mind complex. And all the sensations in the body, disease of the mind, your intellect, all the relationships in this world, these are all of this body-mind complex. Remember this. Be in your silence. And the moment you touch your own silence, it has a magnetic quality, just like Arunachala. It pulls you, it sucks you. And in this pure awareness, everything dissolves. Our story dissolves. The body-mind identity dissolves. And the only thing left is nothing is left. And the moment this seeing actually gives so much of emptiness, so much of freedom, you have no boundary. You are not limited to family or your caste, your religion, your country, to human beings, animals, plants. Everything becomes your part. It is the walls created are only by this identity that I am this form. The moment that is dissolved, then everything is you only. Everything. Even the person who is in ego mode is you only. And you know that completely. Whether that person knows or not, that's his job. But you know. This is the power of this awareness. Once you have gone on this path, you are finished what you think you are. Or you can call it egocide. Suicide or death is not complete death. Ego goes with it. Mind goes with it. If you really want to die a real death, then get rid of the ego. Then nothing will go. You will always stay as what you are. There is nowhere to go for you then. No lokas, no places, no dhams. Because I'll tell you one thing, and this is again is very important. What you think you will manifest further will happen that way only. If you believe you will go to heaven, then definitely you will go to heaven, or you will go to hell, or whatever, I don't know. But if you stay as awareness, then 100% you're not going anywhere. Job is done. Even going to other lokas is like a tourism, you know. You go for tour, you stay there, you have some good times, 100, 2000, 5000 years, you get some positions. It is all again the same drama, you know, like this drama. But if you want to finish this whole drama, then stay as awareness. Don't take any form, don't take any shape. Don't take any name. Just watch it. Watch it with patience and perseverance and full attention. And in no time you will be free. What is the time? Let's say you have lived this life millions of years. Let's say this life you have lived last 40 years, 30 years, 20 years like this. But if it takes only a couple of years to do it, it is not a big prize, isn't it? And it is much easier for a person who is grahast, who is in family, than a person who is a sage, because here you are being tested all the time. There nobody is testing him, so whether how his practice is going, he doesn't know. Here you are tested every moment. Someone is testing you, especially your family members, so ego has to finish, isn't it? If ego is not finished, then you know the most. Maybe your spouse knows the most. So job is very easy for a family man, because you know what is going wrong, and then eventually you have to be quiet only. There's no other way. Dealing inside, you have to be quiet. All anxiety, all fear, you will become fearless. The moment you are at arm's length from the body mind, you become fearless, because you know you are not going to lose anything. Nothing to lose at any stage, actually. It was a dream that you were thinking you are losing something. Who doesn't want to be fearless? Who doesn't want peace, joy, eternal happiness? Who doesn't want to love everyone? Who doesn't want to be contented? Everyone. And such a easy technique to just keep quiet. Summa Yeru, Bhagavan says. You go to any teaching, you read any Shastra, when you come to Bhagavan, the job is done. No illusions, no, making it, touching your ear from the other side, no, he just talks straight. First time when he spoke, not even spoke, just wrote on the sand, that was just done. We are so blessed to get these beautiful teachings, which are purest of pure. No one has mixed up all the other stuff in it, if you see Indian holy text Bhagavad Gita, so many tikas and tippanis on it. People have done in their own way. Someone has taken into other extreme, the other has taken to other extreme. If you read the same book from 20 different sources, it looks like you are reading a different book. Bhagavan has not given anyone to misinterpret. He has just written very clearly, just not even said anything. Yes and no, yes and no. He has not even used the words God and all, just self, everything is self. Stay as pure self, that's all. Inquire, and every question he will say, first know who are you, that's all. Nothing else. And what is his teaching? Just silence. Stay in your silence and don't move from this silence. And if still you can't find silence, then have a picture of Bhagavan, see that picture. That picture of Bhagavan will take you into silence only. His eyes will take you, even now. Guaranteed. That is the power of that silence coming from his eyes, of even his picture. Somehow the whole thing is open, but how many people know it? I don't know. Like, this is also a miracle. Like, it's open but it's closed. I wonder sometimes, but like this knowledge is there, why not at least in India, billions of people should get enlightened, that Bhagwan's knowledge, place, everything is there, Why don't we work out? Why can't we go on a vacation to be free? Take a break for 3 months, 6 months. Maybe I can understand the poorest of poor, he has to feed his family. I think we can afford. Once the COVID goes away, just work it. And we all can work it wherever we are. It is very, very easy and very simple. Nothing to be done. Actually, nothing to be done actually. Don't take any form. Just stay. Keep pretending that you're doing something, whatever your profession, but stay quiet within. Who can disturb you? Tell me. Nobody can disturb you to be quiet. And when you decide to be quiet, all the disturbances also disappear. Try it. Only till you are busy in disturbances, we actually put ourselves in trouble, not the people around us. We blame people, but it is us only. Because we create, when we are in ego mode, we create disturbance for ourselves. When you are quiet, then how can you fight? How can someone can fight with you if you are quiet? They will do one punch on you, you show the other face, they will punch. How many punches? Finally they will leave you. You might have heard about, there was an Indian Jain, Mahavir, Jain, last Tirthankar. He used to be like Bhagwan. He used to go naked from village to village. And once he was going, there were two people started saying bad words to him, and they were drunk or whatever. I don't remember the story, but he said, you can show your anger on me. I will not mind. But if you go somewhere else, then people will smash your face. So just do it on me. Like how much fearless, how much, compassion. Look, for someone unknown who's a stupid person, So where this power comes from? Power comes from knowing that you are nothing. This is the power. Power doesn't come from that you don't know who am I? I am so and so. That is not power. That only fear speaks like that. Emptiness doesn't speak like that. Stay as awareness. Nothing else needs to be done. And it is not hard at all. It might look initially because of your habit to just go back into the ego mode. Just remember this. I think we should sit in silence and thank you everyone, and stay blessed in your own pure awareness. We have exceeded the time, but the time is also nothing. Thank you. Thank you everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Who is the Mahatma there?
Thank you, Sanjay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay.
Thank you, Sanjay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay.
Thank you everyone. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.